Hello everyone, welcome to Stardew Diaries. And today, sorry, ooh, okay. Alright, that's good news. Um, let's see here. Okay. Alright, let's start with a little bit of an announcement. Um, I have a request topic today that we're gonna talk about. Um, Someone sent me a message. They wanted me to talk about devotion. It's a bit difficult, honestly. I'm not really sure where to begin with it. So um, let's just see. We don't need to water these. These are already done. I think I could have planted some what you call it? Um, what do you call it again? Oops, sorry. I think more potatoes instead of parsnips. I think they would have made it by the end of the season. In summer, I know I did say I want to rely more on on fish. However, we do need a bit of money to get things started. So I might buy a lot of seeds during during summer just to get us started and help us do the bundles. Um, and speaking of bundles, we are actually going to do some today. We're just going to send in some crops, I guess. Well, anyways, oh well, actually, let me focus on this first before we start yapping. We already have that. Potato, beans. We need beans. Lake fish. Let's check out the others. Catfish, river fish. Hmm. What else do we need to send over? Cucumber, we already have a cucumber. We can save up for it for that for now. But yeah, okay. Let's start with the topic now. Um, so I wanted to talk about. Well, someone want me to talk about devotion, and I'm more than happy to do so. And honestly, it's a bit of a hard question, but I don't really want to think about my responses while outside, while not recording. I want my responses to be as real as possible. If you know what I mean. So I guess we can start with just some basic definition just to help me get started with the topic. I think devotion means loyalty, means like you deeply care about something. It doesn't have to be a person, just deeply care about something. And you know ooh, we need parsnips. I guess we still have some parsnips growing, so that's good. um and yeah, just you deeply care about something. You're very loyal about it. And you have a lot of passion. It can be towards a person, a belief, an object. It could be all sorts of things. And actually, I think I need to go mining today. Or actually, I want to upgrade my axe as soon as possible. So we might go fishing and try to get at least 2,000 gold. And maybe if I sell all of these potatoes to Pierre, maybe we could. Yep, that's 2,000 gold. We can definitely do that. I want to upgrade my axe. So, oops. I want to upgrade my axe so that we can start chopping wood and hardwood so that we can make smokers, fish smokers. Anyways, again, I'm getting distracted again. Oop, sorry, I'm getting even more distracted. Oh my goodness, just the cutscenes don't stop. And I don't know. There are, I guess, good sides. So like, everything in moderation, right? Like, you can be devoted to something in a positive or like a healthy way. Since it can be anything. Like, I'm devoted to my partner. I'm devoted to myself and my self growth, my beliefs, my principles. It's a really big term, actually. Now that I think about it, there's like a lot of stuff that it encompasses. But and how do I apply that, and how do I internalize that word in my mind, and how I use it in my everyday? I guess it's important to know. I guess it kind of boils down to things that you want, right? To like, or like your goals, since as I've explained before, the idea of human beings, we're all naturally greedy, or like we're all naturally like want something. That's one of our, I believe, our key attributes as a species. So I did not bring my fishing rod, so I need to run all the way back home. Oh my goodness. But am I making sense? So if I apply that to the idea of devotion, I guess that's just another term for things that you like or things that you are working for. I think ambition is more towards like sense of purpose, but devotion is more, it can be like related to faith, or could be something that's not necessarily like, it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot less tangible than ambition, I think. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but it does to me, so it is. There you go. I think we should gather stone instead, since we already have enough for... actually, never mind. We need... Actually, no. We need to get to the mines. A certain level of the mine, so that we can get the cave jellies. I'm sorry, I'm just keep getting yapping now. But yeah, so I think how I would describe it, or how I would apply it. It's important that you know. Well, I definitely know what I want and do, and and the people and the stuff that I'm devoted to. I think that's pretty much it. Like, I'm devoted to myself, firstly and foremost, because if I don't work on myself, I don't love myself, I'm not able to express anything else to anyone else. And I guess that's my first thing. Secondly is my family, not even my partner. Since obviously I mean, I love my partner, but like, I'm still devoted to my family. I wanna give back everything that they have given me so far in my life. Oh my goodness, I could have if I brought my fishing rod. My goodness, I am already in 20, but I need to get further down anyway, so it's fine. I did not bring my sword either. Oh my goodness, I'm just a walking mess today. So let's just try to avoid as much enemies as possible. Maybe I should be devoted to thinking better. What else am I devoted to? And then I guess so. I guess those are more like external things than like. So after that, obviously it's my partner, and then after that it's my friends and hobbies. Those are pretty external like responses though. When it comes to internal responses, like I obviously value my philosophies, being a stoic, and trying to in terms of beliefs, I want to make a change in this world. I want to have an impact. Hopefully, that it a lot of people are benefit from it, stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure if that's still like devotion, but I think those are turning into ambitions, right? I'm devoted to helping people. I'm devoted to, well, I'm working on it, I'm working on that stuff. And I guess it's a good word to remind you um, the stuff that you need to work on, um, that you might not necessarily be, actively doing. Um, oh, it's a bit difficult. It's really difficult. I'm really lost for words for to describe it. I guess again, in the simplest terms, it's just things that you want to pursue. Yeah, I think that's how I would describe it. Any cases in my life that I was really devoted to something? I mean, like right now, like Stardew Valley. I don't know. It's very difficult because normally everything makes sense in my mind, but as soon as I try to like explain it outwards, it's very difficult. That's actually quite interesting because it's easy. Maybe the answer is too easy. That's why I'm struggling to um, answer the question. You know, and I guess it's also difficult that it's not like a broad question. It's just talk about devotion. Maybe I should like ask for something more specific, but that might be difficult too since like I answer the question and that's it. It's interesting. I think it's an interesting question or topic. Since I am, not only that I think of my personal devotions, I also think about what others think. And as I've mentioned, everything in a. I think I'm not gonna make it to these two. Oh no, I have made mistakes. I have made mistakes. I do not have any energy. Oh dear. Let's let's head home. Oh dear. Well, I guess this is our life now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it back home, but let's start walking, I guess. Oh my goodness. Um, I got too distracted. So I guess those are examples of like healthy devotion, where you feel fulfillment for the things that you love. And I thought of stuff of like negative devotions as well, like something towards leaning towards like addiction or stuff like that. Um, I think you can be addicted. Like for me, for example, like I'm addicted to vaping. You know, um, I wouldn't necessarily call that devotion, but I do like vaping, and I don't know, or like fanatics, like like when you are um like devoted towards something that is you know negative, like anti-vaccine, like oh my goodness, anti-vaxxers, like get your vax on. Unless you're sickly or you can't take vaccines, stuff like that. And there are plenty of other like um stuff that people are like devoted into that I personally disagree. Like for example, flat earthers. Like oh my goodness. Do something better with your life. So yeah, stuff like that, or people that are devoted to being spiteful or mean. I'm not sure if I have a good idea of what devotion is like, but I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I hope I'm making sense. Other stuff that I'm like blindly devoted to. Maybe there's like those kinds of devotion to like stuff that you don't really think that you're like super devoted to, but you actually are. Like I'm super devoted to T1, like T1, League of Legends team. I am an absolute number one fan. I cry when they win. I cry when they lose. I am that big of a fan. Um, and I don't know what else to do, so I'll just sleep here. I'm just gonna lay down in the bed. And you know, I think it's very interesting. Like, ooh. Well, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know what. I don't know what to think. Um, what else? What else about devotion? Hmm. Like I'm devoted to D&D. I'm devoted to my players. I'm devoted to. I don't know how to break it down. I guess the question is really simple, and I'm just overthinking it. I'm trying to break it down too much, but there's not really anything to break down. You know. Um. And I don't want, it kind of bleeds into like other stuff that I want to talk about, but I'm going to, stray away from the actual like topic, I guess. But I think it's very interesting. Um, like an interesting idea. Um, I don't know. There is a game, a horror game named Devotion, which is, oh my goodness, it's so good. It's about like, a father that's like really devoted to their kid, and their kid is like sick, and stuff happens because the father is like so desperate to you know cure their kid, but in a wrong way. So I guess that's another like form of devotion. Like you're so loyal to a person or to an idea that you don't know that it's actually harmful, you know so I guess that's another thing why you need to consider your devotions. Like I personally like, no, I no, it's a meme, but there's like a meme that I like red flags, and I always say that I can fix them because it's kind of, it's not true. Like in an ideal scenario, you don't want to fix anything, right? But um, I like fixing things. Like I'm a problem solver, so if there's people that genuinely want to be helped, then that's my devotion. Like I'm going to be devoted to you. um I think there's also a lot of like maybe negative stigma when you hear devoted or devotion towards another person. Like it can sound like you're addicted to them, something like that. But that is the nature of liking something or liking someone. It's emotional, and sometimes it can be biased, and you know again, if there's too much of it there, it's going to lead to negative outcomes. So it's very, very um, important, I guess, to think about it. Actually, little fun fact: when I was courting my partner, when we weren't still a thing, which is funny because a few days from now, it's going to be our 5th year anniversary. When I was still courting him, I actually asked myself, do I love this person or am I infatuated with this person? You know, because there's difference. Like, there's difference between the two. Am I just attracted to him because, like, he's the first person that liked me. Like, I've never had anyone had a crush on me. I've never met anyone that likes me, like romantically, or wanna do something with me, and he's the first person. So am I infatuated with him? And I had to rationalize my emotions and see if I'm if there's like a connection like spiritually with that person. I guess that's another thing with devotion. It has to connect with you in a spiritual level. Like I think ambition is more towards like your personal goals and maybe your ego and I think when you hear ambition, you think about your career, right? Or your projects and goals. When you hear the devotion, you think of love, your philosophies, your ideas, or maybe beliefs. Not even like philosophies, like it's your beliefs. So again, it's more the intangible stuff. It's more inside of you, I guess, or spiritual. And I would say that after I rationalized my emotions, which is an odd thing to say, right? But I did, you know, my partner is very hardworking. I'm hardworking. I can see his flaws from a mile away, but he's a good person, and I think he deserves a chance. Or like, I want to see how this works, and we're still here today. We're actually, honestly, our problems now it's still the same problems that we had since we started dating. Funnily enough, some things are very difficult to change, but you know, the good things outweigh the negative things. So I guess I would say that I'm pretty balanced with my devotion. I have a few like addictions that I am aware that I'm super devoted to them, but like not in a healthy way. Um, Again, vaping comes into mind, and certain characteristics of my my personality and can be you know um, can seem blindly devoted to some things, but I'm working on those and other stuff like obviously I don't think it's not a bad thing to be a diehard fan of an esports team like in League of Legends. I'm just so big fan of Faker. I would I always cry. I always cry whenever they lose or win, especially if it's like a title game, like like a finals game. Oh my goodness. And though I guess I'm a very passionate guy. I have a lot of passion. So like it's again it's when you say devotion, there's a lot of things that come into mind. But um, I guess that's it. I really ran out of money, or sorry, not money, energy for today to make more money. So I messed up, but here we go. Um, Anyways, it's so close. Like I thought this meant something 6-1, but it's actually 9-1. Anyways, my brain got distracted again. But it's a Saturday. You guys take it easy. I personally am working through some stuff right now. If you're a fan of the Black Compass campaign, I will have an announcement tonight. Um, it's very unfortunate, but we'll try to work around things. We're going to, where it's a work in progress in the background. I have also other stuff that I need to do for today, and I have actually have some art commissions underway as well. So I'll be busy for today. But you guys take it easy. Enjoy, play some games, enjoy yourselves, sleep. You know, and thank you so much. I know today had been a bit of a ramble, but I still hope you guys liked it and chilled out and um, you know get yourselves ready for your day. Thank you so much. I'll be off now. Thank you so much. My goodness, why is devotion so hard? Like, it's supposed to be an easy topic, but I really struggle to describe it for some reason. Eh, whatever. I'll try again next time.